The University of Oslo offers part of the Viking and Medieval Norse Studies programme, an international 2-year graduate programme leading to an MA degree. The first 2 semesters take place at the University of Iceland in Reykjavik. In the 3rd semester, the students can choose between courses at Aarhus University, Denmark, the University of Copenhagen, Denmark, or the University of Oslo, Norway. The 4th and final semester is reserved for writing a master's thesis. At the University of Oslo, the Department of Linguistics and Scandinavian Studies offers wide-ranging expertise in many aspects of the programme. Its particular strengths lie in philology, poetics and medieval grammatical literature, runology, medieval literacy, paleography and codicology, that is, material philology, as well as Viking Age archaeology, medieval art, focusing on book illumination and ecclesiastical art, and Anglo-Norse and Celtic Norse relations.
Reasons why I chose Oslo was because they offer a lot of courses in runology, and that is something that you definitely can't study in Spain. I don't think there are courses anywhere, and very few other places in Europe too, so there is a lot of expertise in runology here.
Studying in Oslo is really great because we have the Viking ships right around the corner, and they're actually part of the university. So even though there's an entrance fee, if you're part of the university, you go for free. You can go whenever you want, and it's amazing. There are these ships that are unbelievably large. I mean, and they come with the museum has a really great setup with all the artifacts found in them, and just really great descriptions. And it's very affecting to just stand there. They have these platforms where you can stand above and see the ship from above and just see how magnificently large it is, and it's a really great experience.
Well, my main interest is runology, and I'm gonna be writing my thesis on the runestones in the Isle of Man. There are stone crosses, sculpture crosses, which look like Irish or Scottish counterparts, but which have Viking decoration styles and runic inscriptions, and they show the Norse-Celtic contact in the Viking Age.
My main courses are in runology. I have one introductory course dealing with the whole period of runic script, that is from 1st century AD up to 1400. And then I have 2 specializing courses, one focusing on Migration Age and the Viking Ages, and one focusing on the Middle Ages. However, I will say that it is important to stress that doing so, I not only focus only on the runic inscriptions as such, but also try to contextualize these inscriptions in a wider context, and looking on how these texts acts in relation to the Latin script culture, because runic script has always been in a kind of a dialectic process with Latin script.
My main field of research concerns the manuscript culture in the Middle Ages. I'm interested in the establishment of this written culture in the 12th century and beginning of the 13th century, and I'm interested in the relation of the written culture which is established and the former oral tradition. This has led me to an interest in Eddic poetry and how this Eddic poetry is moved from an oral tradition into the written. I have also been involved in projects working with scriptoria in churches and monasteries, where I am interested in how scribes in these scriptoria are taking part in establishing and changing the written culture or the script culture of the Middle Ages.
We've gone on trips. One of the trips we went to was a place called Granavolden, which is about an hour away, to see medieval churches as well as a runestone. And it's just things like that. I mean, the program paid for everything, so it's just this kind of nicety that you can get out of the city with everyone, and it was a real bonding experience. And we had classes in this old kind of farmhouse, which was just really quaint and nice.
We take the students around, we reading text, we're doing philology, and we see what we read in the text, compare it with the archaeological finds, for instance. And we have the stave churches with the runic inscriptions. So try to see all these together. If you, for example, are discussing the Viking expeditions or the introduction of Christianity, whatever it is, the literary text gives one picture, the archaeological finds another picture, and also churches and the inventory of churches a third picture. And we try to mix these together so you can get an overall view. And we have some separate courses, but courses that also overlap. That part of it is philology, part of it is archaeology and art history.
I mainly do courses on manuscript culture. Courses concerning the use and the function of manuscripts in this culture and the context of the manuscripts. I also involve aspects of paleography and codicology in these courses, and try to sort of show the full culture of the manuscript in the Middle Ages. I also teach Eddic poetry, which then takes me from the oral tradition to the more written tradition in the 13th century.
Being an international student here is very comfortable. I mean, I think you'll find there is a huge international community, first of all, so it's never hard to find someone else who's kind of in your boat or, you know, trying to make it as an international student as well. There is a great community here and you always feel included and welcome. There's a lot of events. There's a pub connected to our humanities program, so I was an intern there my first semester and that was really great for meeting people.
We have a summer school in archaeology lasting for 6 weeks. It is very intensive. In advance, students get a reading list with literature they have to read before they come here. And during the stay here, during the 6 weeks, they are going out to take active part in excavations to see how the theory fit with the practice.
We also have our own student magazine, which is called Vellum, and it's on medieval and Viking Age history. And we publish papers written by students. So, for example, if a paper you've written for one of the subjects, you're satisfied with it, so we can publish it. And that way we get to know what other students are doing.
Stríðum allir, róstefnu til, sólsiglaðar, það snari verjast sem þeir verjast. Stríðum allir, róstefnu til,